Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We got some shocking news in the footballing world yesterday as Kylian Mbappe is set to become a Real Madrid player in this up-and-coming 2024-2025 season. And I don't know about you guys, man, but I'm shocked, I'm perplexed, I'm flabbergasted. I never once saw this coming, and obviously that's me being sarcastic. Everybody and their fucking mom saw this coming from 50 miles away. But yesterday it became official. Fabrizio Romano put out a tweet. Real Madrid released a comunicado oficial. So what is happening? Mbappe is coming to Madrid, but we all knew he was going to end up in Madrid anyway. I mean, all this shit about, oh my god, he signed, he's officially a Real Madrid player. We all knew he was going to end up in Madrid. Ever since 2 years ago, when Mbappe first started having these fights with PSG and he started flirting with Real Madrid back and forth. I'm talking about like when Messi was still at PSG and Real Madrid won the UCL in Paris that year. That's when it really started for me. I knew that if he ever left PSG, he was going to end up in Madrid. And obviously, we all knew that as well. And then this year, when he announced that he was going to leave PSG officially a couple months back, we all knew if he left, he was going to end up in Madrid. There was all these things about Arsenal and Liverpool and AC Milan. No one ever believed that shit from for a second. He was always going to end up in Madrid. And with this signing, there's a lot of things to talk about, man. I want to talk about what this means for Real Madrid and their team for the foreseeable future. Are they going to be the Galacticos 2.0? How many trophies are they going to win? What is their ceiling with this team? This obviously collection of talent, because people are saying it's the greatest collection of talent on a football team ever, like the greatest starting 11 ever Real Madrid could assemble in the history of football with Mbappe, obviously. And I also want to talk about what this means for Barca, because obviously, as you guys know, I'm a Barca fan, and anything that Real Madrid does, it affects Barcelona in some way. And I want to talk about Madrid signing Mbappe, who's to me arguably the best player in the world. What does that mean for Barca's chances to win trophies in the foreseeable future? So I want to talk about those two things, and whatever you guys agree or disagree with, please let me know in the comments section down below. But anyway, let's get into this video. Number one, what does this mean for Madrid for their future? Are they going to be the Galacticos 2.0? The answer to that question is no. They're not going to be the Galacticos 2.0, and I think it's going to work out. It pains me to say, but I think it's going to work out. And people comparing this team to the Galacticos, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. No idea at all. The Galacticos were all old, and they were all washed. All of them were old and all of them were washed. And that team had no structure. This team is the opposite. All these players are young and in their prime, and this team has a lot of structure. The Galacticos had Raúl, they had R9, they had Zidane, they had Figo, they had Beckham, and they had Michael Owen. Remember that team? Yeah. That team had no structure at all. The defense was not great. They had Hierro and Casillas, obviously, as the keeper and the center back, who were both good. But then you had Salguera at right back, and then you had, I think, Roberto Carlos at left back, who's obviously a great left back all the time. But defensively, he was never great. And at that point, he was older, so obviously he was going to be worse defensively. So that team's defense and midfield structure was terrible. Also, if you guys remember, when Florentino Perez signed David Beckham in the summer of 2005, he sold Claude Makélélé, who was arguably the best pivot in the world at the time. He sold him. They sold 7 players actually that summer, but he sold Makélélé because remember, Makélélé wanted a wage increase, and Florentino Perez said no, and he said, okay, then I'm going to leave, and he left. And that completely shattered that team because you were playing Raúl, you were playing R9, and you were playing Figo as the front three, and then you had Beckham, Zidane, and who as the other midfielder? I mean, who were you going to play there? There was no structure in that team. Figo and Beckham played the same position. To me, David Beckham is one of the most overrated players of all time. And when he got to Madrid, he was obviously worse because he was older. Zidane was good, but obviously not his best. He was good in the start when because obviously Figo and Zidane were part of that UCL winning team. But I'm talking about the real Galacticos from 2002 up until 2007 when they had Beckham and all those guys. Because I don't count Figo and Zidane as the Galacticos because, like I said, they were an era before that. But Zidane was obviously older, and R9 was fat and washed, man. He just was. He was fat and washed. He wasn't the same player. He scored a hat-trick. He scored a hat-trick at Old Trafford. Sure, but that team won. I mean, there's a reason why they won 1 league in 5 years. The team was just not good. The structure of the team was not great. The marketing for the team was great. They obviously became very popular in Asia and all around the world, and everybody still to this day talks about the Galacticos, but on the football pitch, it was a massive underachievement. But again, there's reasons why that happened. This team is not like that. Like I said, all these players are in their prime or entering their prime, and this team has a lot of structure. Like, you have Vinicius Jr., arguably the best player in the world. You have Mbappe, who to me is the best player in the world. And then Vinicius is at worst, second or third. You have Bellingham, who's obviously one of the best in the world, who was amazing this year and who's going to keep getting better. He's only 20 years old. You have Rodrigo, who gets into any starting 11 in the world and is one of the best youngsters in the world, in my opinion. Then you have Fede Valverde, who's amazing. You have Tchouaméni, you have Camavinga. Then you have fucking, in the back line, you have Mendy, you have Rudiger, you have Alaba, you have Militao coming back, you have Carvajal, you have Fran Garcia, you have Courtois, still one of the best or the best goalkeeper in the world. And then off the bench, you're going to have guys like Endrick, and you're going to have Luka Modric, who's still going to be at the team, and you're going to have obviously Arda Güler and Brahim Diaz and all these different players, bro. It's just not the same at all. This team has a lot of structure. This team actually has valuable defensive pieces in that midfield that can help out the attack and cannot leave them exposed. Because if you have Vinicius Jr., Mbappe, and then and Rodrigo, and you're playing Bellingham and Modric in the midfield, then I'd say, okay, and then you had no pivot, I'd be like, okay, then you're kind of asking for trouble. But you can have Mbappe on the left, Vini on the left, Mbappe down the middle, Rodrigo down the right. Then you can have Bellingham as a 10. Then you can have Tchouaméni as a pivot, or Camavinga, whichever one you pick. And then you can have Valverde next to him, or Camavinga, or Tchouaméni next to him. They can obviously play. I think Camavinga and Tchouaméni can both play as an 8 or a 6, and so can Valverde. So you have all these versatile players who can obviously play, who can fill all these different roles, and who are all extremely athletic and great. And they're not old, bro. They're all young. So again, for me as a Barca fan, I'm not trying to sit here and glaze Madrid, but it's true, bro. It's the reality. This team is fucking stacked. It's not the Galacticos at all. It's just not the Galacticos. That team was washed. It was bound to fail from the start. Ever since Florentino Perez signed Ronaldo, R9, and he signed Beckham, that team was bound to fail. And then don't even get me started with signing Michael Owen, who was fucking washed at that point. But anyway, that's besides the point. Like I said, this team is totally different. It has a lot better structure, has a lot better players, and they're all still young. And also, this team, oh my god, my voice just cracked so much. I'm sorry about that. This team has the pedigree of winning. They just won the UCL. They won the UCL 2 years back. Obviously not the same players, but a lot of them were still there. And Mbappe's coming into this team, hopefully with no ego, because they don't need you. You need them. You're kind of crawling to them. They could win. They won without you multiple times. You're the one who's underachieved in the UCL over the past couple years. You ghosted against Dortmund in both legs, and you ghosted against Barca. So this whole legacy that you're building for yourself, it's kind of crumbling because you can't win the UCL. You've won the World Cup, but never the UCL. You couldn't do it with Paris, and now we're going to see if you can do it with Madrid. But like I said, for me, I think the ceiling for this team is winning 3 UCLs, not ceiling. I mean, yeah, the ceiling is maybe 3 or 4 UCLs. I think they'll obviously win a couple league titles. I don't think they'll win a treble, I'll tell you that. I don't think Madrid has the treble winning DNA. They obviously have the UCL winning DNA because they have by far the most UCLs all time. When it comes to the treble, certain teams have that DNA, certain teams don't, and I don't think Real Madrid has that with them. Again, this year they lost 2 games all year, but obviously one of them was one of the games that stopped them from winning a treble, which was losing to Atletico Madrid in the Copa del Rey. So I don't think Real Madrid will win a treble, but I think they're going to win a lot of trophies. They're going to win the UCL, I think, with Mbappe. I think Mbappe will win multiple Ballon d'Ors while at Madrid. I think that team's going to be really, really good. But then that also leads me to what does this mean for Barca? Because as a Barca fan, I care about Barcelona. What does this mean for my team? And I'm scared, bro, and I'm seeing a lot of people talk about like, oh, Gavi came out yesterday and said Real Madrid can sign whoever they want. I don't care. And everybody's like, yeah, Gavi. Everybody should have that mentality. I love Gavi for that. I mean, all our fans are so reactionary. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you guys talking about? Stop being so dense, man. Stop trying to have like this warrior mentality about they can sign whoever the fuck they want. We don't care. Yes, we do fucking care. They're our biggest competitors. They're our biggest rivals in Spain. They just beat us to the league with like fucking 4 games to go, and they're signing Mbappe. And we're sitting here talking about should we bring back the Joaos and re-sign Sergio Roberto? What are you talking about? Of course it matters. This matters to me because I want to see Barca win trophies. And Mbappe signing with Madrid, and Madrid signing with Mbappe, it matters for Barca. It 100% matters. This whole shit about, oh, we don't care who they sign. No, yeah, we do fucking care. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I care. Obviously, I'm confident in Barca's young core and our team. Obviously, I believe in Roque. I believe in Lamine Yamal. I believe in Paco Barsi. I believe in Araujo. I believe in Koundé. I believe in Hansi Flick. I believe in Pedri. I believe in Gavi. I love this, like the energy that the team is bringing into the new season. Obviously, like I said, with Hansi Flick, and I'm really excited to see what he does. But at the end of the day, guys, it matters that they sign Mbappe because this team just won a double and we won trophies this year, and they're getting better. And we're still talking about maybe, we're talking about, are we going to bring in Guido Rodriguez? Like, what are our concrete steps to actually compete with this team? Because we have to do it. Like, we don't have Messi anymore. Everybody was talking about like, oh, the Galacticos tried to win, but then obviously Messi happened. First of all, that Barca team, it was a lot better than this one in my opinion. When the Galacticos were being formed, that team was obviously with Rijkaard, and they were actually a really, really good team. And also, man, this team, I love Lamine Yamal. I don't think he's Messi yet, okay? I don't think he's Messi. And also, this team is better than the Galacticos, like I said. It's not the same at all. They were washed and old. This team is young and hungry. So for me as a Barca fan, I don't know what this means for Barca in the foreseeable future. I think Barca will still find a way to win league titles because obviously Madrid, even with BBC, Barca were still winning the majority of the league titles, but they were winning the UCLs. But in this case, I don't know what's going to happen here. I think Barca have a good chance of obviously being a really competitive team for the next few years, especially if we can obviously get these youngsters to develop even further because I believe they will. But when it comes to competing in the league, competing in the Copa del Rey, our biggest rivals just signed Mbappe, and they still have Vini, and they still have Bellingham. They have this core, this young core that they're building, and obviously Barca have this young core. But again, Barca, we create our talent. It comes from the Masia. They buy their talent. They just buy it. It's true. It's not me trying to throw. Maybe it's not me dissing Madrid, but it's true. They buy their talent. How many academy players do they have in the starting 11? Maybe Carvajal, and that's it. That's it. I mean, Nacho doesn't start for them, so no, they have Caro Allen, that's it. That's the only player from their academy in their starting 11. Barca next year, we're going to have a fuck ton of players in our starting 11 from the academy, and with those players, you got to be more patient. You can't just go out and buy the best players. You got to be patient with them. But again, patience sometimes doesn't work because these teams are getting better. And while we're staying patient and trusting the process, they keep winning UCLs, and they keep winning these UCLs, and they keep signing all these great players and all these expensive players that keep working out. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I don't know, man. I'm scared as a Barca fan. I don't subscribe to this rule about how Gavi said they can sign whoever they want. We don't care. I fucking care. Because like I said, I want to see Barca be competitive and win trophies for the next few years. And while Mbappe is there, what's to say we go 4 years without winning the league? What's to say that? Because like I said, we didn't win it this year, and they had all these injuries, and they didn't have Mbappe, they didn't have a striker. They were starting Joselu at times. And now next year, like I said, we're talking about keeping the Joaos or bringing back Sergio Roberto, and they're getting Endrick, and they're getting Kylian Mbappe, and they're maybe going to get Alphonso Davies too. So again, we have to find a way to compete. I know Barca's financial situation is not great, and I understand that, and that's obviously going to impede us, and it's going to hold us back in competing. We can't do an arms race with Madrid because they're always going to have more money than us. I'm not sure about more pool, but definitely more money. But then again, you got to find a way to make it work, and that comes down to Joan Laporta and what he could do. I think the signing of Hansi Flick is going to be huge for us. I think it's going to be great. But again, part of me is very scared about this because, like I said, this collection of talent is scary. The only people fool, like I said, it's not like the Galacticos at all. This team is better than the Galacticos, way better, and I don't think they're gonna fail. I don't think they're gonna fall flat. Again, part of me, like, I wish I could sit here and tell you guys it's gonna fail. It's gonna fail. They're gonna flop. They're gonna be terrible. They're not gonna win a single trophy. They're gonna be the Galacticos 2.0. Only one league in 5 years. But again, guys, I'm here to be as unbiased an analyst as I can be. I'm a Barca fan, obviously at heart. I love my team, and when I'm rooting for Barca, obviously all the time. When I'm watching the Clásico and I'm rooting for Barca, I want that fucking team. I want us to destroy Real Madrid. I want us to beat them 7-0, make him suffer, make him cry. But when I'm sitting on this chair and trying to give analysis, I gotta be fair. I can't just be like, oh no, I can't just fucking put my Barca scarf on and be like, no, Barca win everything. We gotta be fair here. And the fact of the matter is, they are adding the best player in the world, and they still have some of the best players in the world still. I mean, they're gonna have the Ballon d'Or winner this year. Either Vini or Bellingham is gonna, whoever wins the Ballon d'Or, it's gonna be from Real Madrid. It's not gonna be Kane or Mbappe. It's gonna be from Real Madrid. And again, like I said, I trust our young corner, our young talent like Pedri and Gavi and Lamine and all these guys, and Fermin Lopez and all these guys. But at the same time, I mean, they have that young core who's already experienced winning at UCL. They've experienced winning at the highest level. So for me, again, I'm scared. I hope that, Barca can find a way to stay competitive. I still believe in my team. I think Barca will win trophies next year because, like I said, I don't think Madrid's going to win a treble anytime soon because it's not in their DNA. But for me as a Barca fan, my main goal is, can Barca win the UCL? Because it's been 10 years since I watched my team lift that trophy. And with this, it's getting harder. Again, and I want to see us have a competitive league season. But again, with this, it's looking like a tall task. But again, we're going to see what happens next year. I'm so excited for next season, man. Hansi Flick at Barca, Mbappe, Madrid. I can't wait to see who Barca sign. If we can get some reinforcements and maybe try and compete with these guys. Again, I believe in my team, but you gotta be honest, and you gotta say, you know what, this team is getting really, really good, and it's just the way it is. But yeah, man, I've been talking for too long. You guys let me know what you think. I love every single one of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.